I had a drop of water on there. So they all had a plan. They all have a plan. They all have a plan. They do. So now that their truth is out, what's the plan? What is the plan? That's all out. What's their plan? What will happen? Will R. Kelly get granted a new trial to prove all of this evidence that these individuals have, such as the one that displayed the picture and put out to the people that, oh, that's Damon Price and Lisa Van Allen on that picture. And so I said to myself, I was like, okay, self. Well, let me think about this one here. First of all, the main question is to ask, okay, well, why wasn't that picture, available for his attorneys to fight? Why wasn't, like that boy stated, a forensic investigator or somebody to, check to see about that? Then I was like, well, how the hell you got that? How in the hell are you displaying this outside of evidence that allegedly should have been used in the court of law to help R. Kelly's case? That's what I was asking. Like, now, this some damn shame here. You mean to tell me that the public has this stuff to prove R. Kelly's innocence online? I was really confused about that. Okay, well, what good is it with you displaying it if the attorneys that R. Kelly hired didn't display it or have it brought up as an argument in the courtroom? I, so they just intentionally withheld all of that. They intentionally withheld that information. Good morning. Scooby Doo. Where was that information? Where was that picture at that the attorneys did not have access to help use for R. Kelly's case to prove that? And I have another question. And I kinda get R. Kelly's position and hoping that the discovery that the prosecution brought forth before him would not would not tarnish, right? Would not get him a conviction, right? Maybe he was sitting there, feeling, really good about winning the case, right? But in the Gayle King show, when he stood up to say, that is not me, I didn't do this shit, right? When he said that, why do you think that he didn't call out a name or two of who that was on the video? I'm standing in the courtroom knowing that these people are trying to prosecute me to the fullest, right? Not knowing how much time that they're going to give me. Maybe he was hoping that, okay, since he's not a snitch and I'm not going to tell him, I ain't that type of person because I love everybody, right? And okay, maybe they'll just give me 5 years for whatever, the traveling or these alleged people going across the state, state line. You know what else compromises that too, in my opinion, is when, what's her name, Kaplan, that female that came out and stated that, she said she's checked everybody ID, but she also kind of helped the prosecutor to me by talking about how, she Yeah, she flown with some of them. I'm like, how does that help him? That does not help him, in my opinion, right? I forgot her Copeland, right? Ain't that her name? Diane Copeland or something like that. Like, so she kind of helped verify the traveling of some people, whether she checked the ID and made sure that they was 18 and or over and all that stuff. But back to the displaying of all of this stuff that boy put up on that screen, and the defense team, they didn't have that. Why did they not have that to help win? Why do these people? Why do these people have these answers, right? I gotta go through my hair, right? It's so tangled, so bad. I'm trying to understand it. Why do these people have all of the answers? And the defense attorneys don't have them or didn't have them. I don't understand that. Now, I was listening to Spitting Fire read the paperwork, right? And I like the way that she read the paperwork and kind of stick to it. I think when Bookham reads the paperwork, he likes to veer off all into some shit that only proves what he's trying to prove on the premises of making people believe that he was actually there and know every single thing. That's the part that annoys me, about him. Now, granted, they listed two Janes up in the paperwork, but the context, according to how I read it, I mean, it does flow. The only thing I think that may have confused the people, which he was trying to say, was that the timeline of two different Janes up in there. He knows for sure. When Azrael met, I was around R. Kelly. He know all of that, like for sure. He dead on that, right? I'm like, this nigga here. He knows for sure. About Pauline. He knows for sure if what's her name? Sharonda, what's the girl name? Done flown over to New York or Florida. He knows that for sure. I'd be like, okay, just read the damn paperwork, right? Just read the damn paperwork. Please read the paperwork because, yeah. Did they, listen, did they do some switcheroo in the context? Maybe so. But my point of what I'm trying to make, right, because of the sentence that R. Kelly has been handed down, right, I'm still trying to find in these people who continuing to want to, have all of this alleged evidence to free him. Why are they still sitting on their ass over there holding on to the shit? Go and free the man. Oh, that takes a lot of work, don't it? That's gonna take them. It's gonna take them to actually probably hire an attorney for R. Kelly, which is probably gonna cost a whole lot of money that they don't have. No, they don't have that, and hope that attorney is, not on some BS to go in there and take the money. Now, I'm praying for R. Kelly to, have a turnaround, have a breaking point. But if I had to depend on these people to break the point, he ain't got a chance. And that's a fact. He ain't got a chance. Ain't nobody studying the crap that they saying because they can't stick to the dang on script. That boy get to reading the paperwork, and I'm like, okay, yeah. You know what's crazy? Like you are so fucking smart, but you're dumb at the same damn time. You like when he sat up there, he says, well, that wasn't Rashana or somebody, right? Flying state to state. He mentions the other person name and then add in another state. Like that helps anything. What the fuck that helps? Because you didn't add it in. Oh, it was Las Vegas and New York, and now, that was Azrael. I mean, the word on the curb is, well, yeah, you should know some stuff about Azrael because you was very close to, the Angelo Clary out there. That was mentioned over in one of DJ Tyson's video. I don't know whether if it was true or not because I really don't care, but at the same time, you got Angelo sitting over there screaming his name. That boy named Booker name. He did. That's what he did. He was doing all this. He was doing all that. I wish I had time to go pull up my other phone so y'all could hear it. But yet then, after that, I think that infuriated Bookham just for a hot second, because then it turned back around, and the next thing we know, he had Angelo all on his show, and and it was a fair discussion or whatever. But I'm trying to see if Bookham is sitting over there. That's all I want to know. And you can display the golden piece that's not R. Kelly, that's Damon Price and Lisa Van Allen. You need to understand, like, what good is it displaying it on the screen when you need to be taking it, or he's hoping, I guess, that Bo Brentley is going to grab that piece, and hopefully if R. Kelly gets granted a new trial, then that piece can be used. I guess that's what he's hoping, and if so, okay, congratulations. But I'm just curious about why wasn't it used the first go round? Why didn't R. Kelly stand up there to say, that's not me. That's not me. That's not me. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's not me, because I don't know what person that wouldn't do it other than, I get it, not trying to, be a snitcheroo, but not trying to be a snitch can also have your butt sitting there and taking the consequences for what they trying to prove up in there. And that shit is crazy to me. That was him, and him over there all damn day. I ain't trying to be no snitch, but I'm still not gonna go down for something that I did not do. So I couldn't understand that, Scooby-Doo, at all. If it's not you, then say it's not you. That's all I'm saying. This is weird. It's the weirdest shit like ever. But then you got all these people, so on here, and of course with the other, girl over there who keep trying to take all my damn videos down, which I don't care. I hit hers too today. Yeah, I hit your video today. And I told you I don't even do this type of shit. I know what that damn button that all on these damn computers and screens about reporting this and reporting that, but I never thought that I had to fall in that type of lane. That's a petty lane to me. It's petty when you want to do it to somebody and somebody hit you back, then you want to go report the video down, girl, and I still ain't lost not a freaking dime out of my pocket. Well, right now, technically, I don't have any in my pocket, but yeah, I'm just saying, you do it to me. Now, it's, this whole reporting crap to YouTube is insanely crazy to me. That's a whole feeling gone bad trait, I'm mad, I'm finna to go tell type of bullshit, but I only just clicked on here because of that freaking concern. And I get it. The crazy thing about all of this shit is, how, all of these names do, come up. And it just happens to be, if it's in R. Kelly's, timeline, he's the one that has to justify, these actions that they are trying to accuse him of not happening. And here's my other thing that concerns me, though, Scoop-Doo, right? So when the attorneys, because I get to review a whole bunch of material, where I am, and from both sides. Okay, like for instance, right? There was a really bad altercation at the job the other day, right? So immediately, the supervisor, um, oh, it's hot, wanted to jump to the young lady being guilty, right? Because of her actions. And I mean, this, she does have, a temper, but her temper only shows a reaction, meaning that you will only see a certain side of her that you don't like when you steady poking at her. Oh, she gonna come. This girl get fired up, right? So this is the side of that character that has only stuck with these people in here. Now, the quiet side of her, the working side of her, they don't see that. They don't see that at all to pass judgment to say, well, okay, she's a good person, da 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 da, right? They only see her bad side, and she does have a bad side, but you got to keep poking at her, keep poking at her. Then she gonna erupt like a volcano, and the girl be, she be going in, right? So during this altercation, the guy poked. He poked her. He's been poking for a while. So the other day, that was it. She was at her boiling point. She was up to here. She went off. Do you know that she ended up being accused as the provocative? The provoking one, as she should be the one to get put out. Now, a good thing that I was there, and I come out of the office, and I hold up. You got your report? Did you write a report up? Where's it? Where's your report? And since this is dealing with the court proceedings, I'll use the word discovery. Where is your report? He didn't have one. He didn't take one. He immediately believed what the guy said, right? Because they've been going back and forth, and because of the character that they only see when she displays it in a timely fashion when she's being poked. They see that. They know she's mean. She's disruptive, and she's verbally abusive. They see that, right? But so he says, well, of course, in every place there's a zero tolerance, order in place, right? But okay, are we going to get both sides of the story? Let me see what you got, right? Before a decision is made. You want to put her out on EP? I'm going to bring her back. One, because you failed to take a freaking goddamn report. Okay? So he changed his mind real fast about it. Crazy thing is that, okay, so she writes hers up and he writes his up. I'm looking at it and I'm reading all of this. I get to read this, right? And no, he did this. He provoked her, and this is what he got back in return, right? So I say that to say this, right? R. Kelly had these attorneys. And yes, everybody's trying to get down to the bottom of, okay, who hired all of these attorneys in and where did they come from? Right now, you got Bookham believing that, Doug Anton was the best thing, or could have been the best thing that could have happened for R. Kelly. Notice he didn't put Greenberg up on a totem pole of that. And you have to keep in mind, here's my reason why, and I believe it's because Doug Anton was, kind of settled and okay with a few disparities, right? In the cahoots of all of this defense fund and the dollar for the king thing for a minute, until I guess it got overwhelming for him and he didn't want to start dealing with all of these dollars and stuff, right? But then it came to a surprise, apparently, with Greenberg words that he said that, when Bookham tried to make that call down, to speak to him, and he was trying to tell him the story about, it was, I and Greenberg and Anton and Doug, and Greenberg was like surprised as hell, like what? Like who? y'all doing what? So, like he wasn't made aware of this. And to me, he also sounded like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't want no parts of this. I don't know what y'all doing or so, right? So it kind of makes sense to me as to why, Bookham would lean more so towards Doug Anton. And that's just because of that story that, laid out here. Like, wait a minute. Let's not skip trace over all of this. But I don't understand. Well, I ain't going to say that, and I get it. Everybody loves R. Kelly. We want R. Kelly free, However, you can't free R. Kelly on shit that you believe is true. You have to allow Kelly to free himself on the shit that he believes is true and not true. Because he has he has voice. He has voice. It's not, and like people say, well, everybody got involved. Everybody put their foot in it. Everybody did this, and everybody hired these attorneys, and blah 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 blah. Right? And the people that is doing the most talking about it ain't hired shit. Ain't put no money into nothing. But I get it. These are the side police, detectives, and they want to be able to, help free him and do all kind of stuff like that. Respectfully, okay, but there's a whole lot of jibber jab and crap stuff that they be saying. Like, y'all, no, what you're doing is collecting your freaking, again, damn views off of it, pretty much. But that's my question. My question was, how is it that he was comfortable, very comfortable, right? And I know that it's been put out here quite a bit about who that was in the log room. But yet then, the attorneys didn't have that masterpiece to have. I don't know. I have to go back and go through all of this other paperwork and shit like that to see if his attorneys actually tried to have that stuff in as a discovery and they kicked it out, or I don't know if they did try to use it or not, but I'm just saying. And here's another thing that needs to be addressed. And if we're going to tell people out here that, oh my God, I don't, like I said, I have to go back through the paperwork, which I'm not going to go and do. The timeline is wrong. They picked him up on a superseding. They never went to the grand jury in time or before they picked him up. Is that what we're saying out here? And you mean to tell me that R. Kelly couldn't get his case dismissed on that due process right there, because there had to be a grand jury. And if he did not, if they did not have a grand jury to make a decision on whether to pick R. Kelly up, then why didn't the attorneys fight about that? Because that's definitely grounds for a freaking dismissal of the case. There's no way in the United States of America that you can go and indict someone without it passing through the grand juror first, I believe. So I'm like, okay, well, how are you going to prove that? Because, Bookham is saying this. So I'm like, fuck, you finna prove that? How in the hell are you going to prove the fact that there was a grand jury after the supersede indictment? If they didn't even pick him up on the first indictment, that I don't know. I'm like, okay, I really don't want to pick back up this paperwork. But Scooby-Doo, you know this shit from front to back. You know it. And I just want to know. I just want to know, was it done then or not? What was it? The hell? So, but to have these, the people sit out here and try to explain to you, in their way of what it is and what it not and all of that damn shit. It's just crazy that everybody out here is. God damn it, I can't even reach that. It's smarter than the damn, smarter than the attorneys. I don't think, in my opinion, that Jennifer Bonjean or, went in there intentionally to be defeated in the case. I need help. I just really don't. I really don't. So, yeah, I can't, look, I'm trying to get my paper towel up there. I can't even reach that damn thing. Hold on. try this. Yes. Okay. Oh, there we go. I got it. You gotta use your head other than a coat rack for a coat rack. That's what my dad used to say. Yeah. I'm running a little bit behind schedule today, y'all. I woke up like just not feeling it, kind of like that. So you said superseding indictment ain't nothing but an exactly. It's a you're right. Add and take away. Oh, we forgot to put this in. Oh, let's take that out. Oh, let's add this in. But the content for having the probable cause of picking them up is allegedly kind of still there. Even they changed some things up. Does it make it illegal for them to do? I don't think so, because everybody want to get their story told, right? I'm just, like I say, I'm just a little curious whether if the grand jury was procedure was done first. And I'm like, well, if it wasn't, that's definitely a violation of his due process right, because the grand jury is the people that has to hear, what's going on before any move can be made. So I don't know. Do I honestly believe those Scooby-Doo that Jennifer Bonjean, and this is just my stance, may have came across some evidence or so that she knew that, okay, I can't beat this one here, but I'm gonna do my best at trying to do so. Even with all the sidebars and things going on, there it might be one or two things, and that she may have been like, shit, like shit. I don't know. You said that she had admitted that they had a relationship. She did. I heard it. I really did. But here's the thing. But the public, some people like them over there, this just, my opinion, would contest against that. Like, that's not true. That's not true. And one thing for sure, two things for certain, you ain't heard Bookham say that he didn't at all. The only thing that he's doing is saying, contesting a freaking age, which I don't even know how at some point, he can keep running his yapper when he sat up there and verified the situation with this freaking LaToya X right on live. He did. And I'm like, well, okay. It's just funny. Like, all of these people, he knows them all. You know their age, you know their birthday, you know when they flew out, you know when they had some smexing going on. He know like everything, and that's the problem with this goddamn story. You can't sit there and portray like you know everything that went on. It's ludicrous to do so. It's so ludicrous. Ain't nowhere in the hell I sit there and act like I know. I'm going to act like I don't damn know. It's crazy. You say the grand jury must approve the superseding indictment as it is a new and separate document that replaces the original one. So this process is required because an indictment cannot be amended. Thank you. So must obtain a form, a grand jury, just like the initial one. So but that's to me how he put it out. Like, they went and did some things without the process of the grand jury being involved. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll skip trace back over to see if that's exactly what he said, but it sure sounded like that to me. I'm like, what? Are you insane? If that was the case, he really would have been, I don't think that Jennifer Bonjean or any other freaking attorney would have let that fly by at all. And as a matter of fact, there's a video with Greenberg in an interview speaking about the grand jury. Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, it is. So there, I think that'll kill that. I'm just curious though, because he made it seem like him and Greenberg was really, tight, right? Like they were good people. And now Greenberg ain't nowhere on his list of, at all, because, ever since that darn freaking defense fund and stuff came out, that whole thing took a flip flop with him and Greenberg. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And you have, the Canic guy, and like they say, he came in the middle of the case. And everybody trying to figure out like who hires these people. But at the same time, and I'm not saying this to say, well, okay, R. Kelly, you got to do something, but I am trying to say, okay, R. Kelly, you got to do something. You got all these attorneys that is going back and forth up in this courtroom with you, and you need to count on one hand how much are they winning for you. It's not that freaking complicated. Like, okay, I'm gonna do two of them. After that, two ain't winning, something ain't right. I have to focus on what, put my money or whatever I have to do the resume thing now. But I also ask myself how often, like literally, can you find a prestigious, highly paid attorney who is very effective in the courtroom with cases like this, right? Especially when they already the title, dealing with the minors, right? How where you gonna find one at? Because most of them, in my opinion, they shy away from shit like this. It's not only probably a bad score on their card with their counterpartners, or the constituents, or things like that. A lot of attorneys are very careful about what cases that they picked up, that they pick up when it comes to something like this. It's just, I don't know. And my other thing of it, when I started seeing someone like a Jennifer Bungie, saying, okay, my time is up or whatever. And Greenberg too. And I don't count that Farinella and all those other ones, right? But to me, it's like when the money runs dry, and these people know that the money is running dry, they're not going to do, the best of the work that they can do. Them checks come rolling in, and everybody says, well, I'm seeing these people say, well, he should get the YSL attorneys, right? The YSL attorneys was getting paid astronomically good. Wow. Them goddamn attorneys was raking in damn near six-figure checks probably every time they showed up to court. R. Kelly couldn't do that. Couldn't do that. Not at all. He didn't have that money. How's he going to get them? It's just so much unrealistic comments and thoughts and shit being said out here. This shit crazy as hell. R. Kelly should get the YSL attorney. How about you get his attorneys? I'm sure R. Kelly would appreciate it. I'm sure R. Kelly would appreciate if you go and spend almost 20 or 78 million on getting him these attorneys to fight this case for him. He will surely appreciate it. When they sit here knowing that he has a struggle with finances right now. Then some people say, well, maybe he should just get, use the public defender. What, Scooby-Doo, do you think that he would have been well off with the public defender? I don't know. I'm even curious right now, like, why hasn't I don't know, maybe the Innocent Project, people can pick up, his case or something. I don't know. Will a miracle happen? Yeah, somewhere down the road. It really will. But, I don't know. Some things did happen. In the case of Lisa Van Allen, what happened? He's not in jail because of her. So you can X that out. You won with the federal public defender, so maybe that probably would have been his best shot. One thing for certain and two things for sure, dog. And I know everybody says, well, he got all these ineffective attorneys, and they were ineffective when it came out here and started talking this case with these goddamn scrubs on the damn internet. It was over for a minute. It was done. Teddy, stop pouncing on me before I cut you. Let me cut you. You already locked me in my car. I'm just saying. Man ain't even started court good, and they all out here, on the phone with them. And I don't know how, you know, and why, not even journalists, can't do nothing with the man's story at all but give it to the freaking public to apply some more bull crap on top of the bull crap. So no, they should have set their butts in the freaking corner somewhere and ran this man case just as private as they could, since they had sequestered the freaking jury, sequestered the freaking attorneys. Go sit down and run your case. But no, everybody wanted to know him. There's still, no, I'm not from California. I'm not from California. Um, um, Wait a minute, let me get my cucumber cut. That it's just too, like they say, it's just too many hands, in the pot. Now you got too many people that still think that they have all the freaking answers that's going to help outside of the freaking trial. Outside of the trial. That's the that's the crazy part for me. Like outside the trial, I'm gonna do this when R. Kelly's sitting right up in there with his attorneys, and the same discovery that these people are trying to prove out here on the internet. You mean that they couldn't prove that in the court of law? That means somebody's story ain't right. Somebody's freaking story ain't right. I don't know. No, I'm not California girl. I'm just an original ass person. That's it. No. Uh-uh. Sorry. Yeah. Well, that's what they said, and I mean, if it is though, Scooby Doo, then it's probably number 100 on the list, because 1 through 99 is the reason, of the situation that occurred that has him locked up, not the protest. So the protesters and all that stuff will be 99. And like, he over there, speaking of those, even with these damn protesters and the walks and stuff, like his protest got R. Kelly free. R. Kelly is locked up too, so wouldn't that make his protest part of R. Kelly being locked up too? Because then none of them has him outside of being incarcerated. So what is he talking about? And it's crazy. Then you got the other one that sit over there, and I don't know what book or whatever biography she's trying to write up on when time comes to strike a couple of dollars like Cass Jones did, but her shit ain't going nowhere either. It's all for the dollar bill. None. And I laugh at it because you'll have the nerves to sit out here and tell everybody that I've been watching in the trenches. I've been watching how this all unfold. And my crazy thing is, watching who? What are you watching? People like me or Scuba? We ain't the people that's sitting in the freaking courtroom saying these things about what he allegedly has been doing or did. Like, what the fuck? What do you watch the wrong damn people and trying to prove who has been out here allegedly trying to dismantle the case and everything. That ain't gonna get him free either. What are you proving with that? Oh, I'm just going to put all these names and stuff out here so then that way you guys will know, who not to mess with and who did this and who did that. Like somebody and some friends with all of these people out here. That's the crazy shit. Like, who gives a fuck about you doing that? We like, People out here don't sleep, eat with half of these people that she's trying to prove that they the people that did, the distracting or the influencing of this and the influencing of that. Like that nonsense. Senseless ass shit. I'm gonna prove to y'all. I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove that she lied. I'm gonna prove that she did this. I'm gonna prove that they told R. Kelly's case apart. The people who was not his attorneys, they're gonna prove to you how they tore R. Kelly's, these people tore R. Kelly's case apart. Wasn't his attorneys, wasn't in there as a defense for him. None of these people. But this is what they proving to y'all. The fuck out of here. If that ain't the goofiest shit I have ever heard. And I've been wanting to say that for a long time. I'm going to prove it to you. Yeah, okay. You keep right on trying to prove and glue and stick up there. Hi, Mels. Good morning. That's funny ass shit. Now, after they done proved it to you, what's going to happen? Who's coming to get all these people? Who's coming to get them, Kaleidoscope? Who will pick them up? That's what I want to know. And then here's another difficult question that you could ask yourself. If the feds or whatever come and pick up all of these people, is that going to free R. Kelly? Is it? It may feel good to you to say, well, okay, we're going to lock all these people up who help disturb, distract, tear down an R. Kelly case. What that going to do for you? And then how you going to prove it all? Oh, I don't know. How you going to prove all that glue sticking up stuff you got stuffed up there on that damn board? They already did what they needed to do to Oh, you wanted the Clarys to get stuck, right? Well, I believe in the paperwork, which your boy didn't even try to influence the judge, that the parents should be locked up, right? Because, as he said yesterday on his live, they bought the ticket for Azriel to travel. They bought the ticket. They also wrote a letter, didn't they, Book? And what happened with that? Why did that not fly? Why did that not fly in the court of law? Why is it that this judge just will not allow anything being brought in pertaining to these parents? Bookham. Why did you not go down there and get the beating your gavel in the back of the courtroom some damn where, or upstairs through the window, saying that Judge Donnelly, that is a lie? Why did you not do it? Why are you waiting until you out here on these goddamn screens and the microphones to get to yelling that stuff? Because I have to ask you, what do... got a meeting. What do you do? What do you want the people to do? What do you want the people to do with what you're trying to be so convincing about? Didn't Bonjean try to talk about that, if I'm not mistaken? Didn't she try to say, well, the parents and the so-and-so and the so-and-so? Why didn't R. Kelly attorney object when the freaking, I don't know if she did or not, I'm just asking, Diane Copeland sat up there? Why? Play her interview back with her admitting, saying that, she made sure the IDs and everybody had this, but what they were listening for, they were listening The juror was listening to for a key point that would have of put similarity into what the prosecutor was charging him with, and that was what the interstate traveling. In the minute she's opened up her mouth saying that, well, yeah, I helped, and yeah, we, and I bored them and I checked the pass, they were looking for traveling. They didn't give a huck about how old at the time, or if the parents signed this and signed that. They had somebody on that stand as a witness to say that some traveling was being done. That was enough to sell to a jury. Had she not said, well, nope, they didn't do no traveling. Them girls, nope, we didn't do none of that. Maybe it'd have been good for her. I'm just saying. You guys don't listen. You don't. You only want to hear what you want to hear, and I get that. I like R. Kelly. Free R. Kelly. But you can't free him when you're trying to be inclusive with your freaking fucking lies and bullshit on everything, and that bullshit ass fucking collage that girl's putting up over there. You ain't gonna free him. I don't take you seriously with it now at all, as I never have. Because you can't even stick to that program, because every time at the end you want to throw a fucking cookie on the screen, or now as you promoting me, you want to talk about one wet moose in the same freaking sense of putting up some stuff for free in R. Kelly. Where they do that shit at? You gonna do that in the court of law? You gonna go in there and tell them what this is what you found, and this guy here, he was the one that set the car on fire, and it was and Cass Jones, she lied that ain't her cousin, but that is her cousin, and Angelo did this, and Drunken Larry said this and said that, but let me tell you about one wet moose. Oh, shit. In fact of the matter is, you can't tell them shit about me. Nothing. But I hurt your goddamn feelings because I asked you to stop. You big crybaby. I asked you to stop, you little girl. Now I'm going to have to call you a little girl. While you over there with your whole AI, because I'm in a mission with a whack poos. It's a troll. Ooh, you just made a mega hit. Ooh, you going somewhere. Why? How in the heck do I got your focus that freaking hard when you supposed to be over there freeing R. Kelly? Yeah, easy wank. How you that easy? How? How in the hell did a troll like me distract you from the crap that you supposed to be doing? You that easy? You know how? Let me tell you how. Because you ain't serious any goddamn way. Nope. You ain't serious anyway about what you're doing. Now you over there want to play with and doodle in colors and stuff and worry about one papoose. Because the papoose, and she's a troll. Ooh. Girl, stop. You know your shit ain't going nowhere. So you might as well have some fun with it, I guess. I guess you might well have fun. I think she really trying to gain and sneak a book out here. I do, Scooby-Doo. I do. I really do. She gonna have the next tell-all Sex Me remix freaking version. Anything for clout, as they say. But apparently, she missing a whole lot of stuff that actually went on. She just wants to grab what she wants to grab to make her stuff, sound and look good, I guess. You ain't got all the answers, though, Kaleidoscope. You do not have them all. Nope. You want to have them all, but you ain't quite got them all. No. And I'm going to tell you why your boy can't really free him or have substantial information that would stand, right? Because all his stuff going to have to come out, too. All his stuff going to have to come out, too. So he kind of screwed, too. So anything that y'all can do with this whole R. Kelly stuff is just play with it, play with it, play with it. That's it. Y'all just can play with it. That's it. See, Can't tell somebody else's story and your stuff don't come out. Can't tell what somebody else done did and your stuff don't come out like you ain't done nothing. It don't work that way. Mm-mm. But I just wanted to know, Scooby Doo, that's it. I was like, okay, no, I don't know it all. No, I am not a judicial uh, lawyer or none of that. Never studied none of it. Never been in trouble. Well, other than that piece of wine candy Scooby Doo found on me back then about 40 years ago. I ain't know that shit exists. That shit was funny as hell. I was like, I did what? I stole what? I ain't know it exists. The crazy shit though, Scooby Doo, right? I had that shit pulled, right? I'm like, somebody must stole my identity. Why that shit on there? I don't know how you found that shit. This shit cracked me up. I don't get mad about no shit like that. I don't remember the store. I don't know what. I read it. I actually put. So I sat back. I couldn't do nothing but laugh at Scooby Doo in my fucking head on that shit. I was like, damn, that shit is there. When the fuck did I do that? Where was my. Hey, Scooby Doo, where was the parents? Where in the hell was RC and baby sister Eka? I don't remember getting my ass whooped or none of that shit for that. That ain't me. I don't do no shit I can't remember. This shit, but it's there. And I can probably admit that shit, but I can laugh at that shit. I'm not supposed to sit here and concoct an attitude of something that's showing up 40 years ago, right? And now I'm supposed to pull up and want to fight you. That is not my demeanor. This shit now becomes a fucking joke. But these people out here, you find and you talk, boy, they ready to fight your ass, fight their ass off on some shit, knowing they all old and shit. Old and all that crap. Prima donna. Prima donna, you ain't coming outside. You ain't doing this. All you did was sit up there and promote all that goddamn fake ass shit your ass got on. That's it. And then the fool that's sitting behind you will tell you, oh, girl, that shit's so cute. But you ain't flashing to the other scene of the real you. That's fucked up. Take those opportunities. Take them. Yeah, we supposed to. I'm gonna lift you up too. I like lifting women up. I don't like tearing nobody down. But you want to start that stuff, honey. And I asked you not to. I asked you to don't do the name calling because I'm gonna name call you back. I did that. No, you couldn't stop. You did the name call. Now you are where's my keys at? Now you can't stop. You don't want to stop. Now, they can't take the heat. They can't take the heat. It's not about taking any type of heat or nothing like that. It's about, you know what? Half of these people are not interested in seeing this crazy clown show that you do, the way that you do it. Goofy. They over there. Oh, this what you want. We going. Oh, oh, wait a minute. No, my meeting is Monday. I just had a thought, y'all. I'm sorry. Yeah. You said they pulled up. And it just happened out here. Scooby Doo. And I get that, right? I get that it happens, right? But the thing about it, and I get that people get angry about it, but my MO is always what it is. What you gonna do with it? That's my thing. What you gonna do with it? Shit, you find some debt, pay that bitch. Uh-huh. You find the debt, pay it. I stole something, but okay, whoop my ass about it. What are you gonna do about it? That's the whole concept to me. Shit, that's the whole ending of the story to me. What are you gonna do about it? Huh? That's crazy. Oh, I don't have to wear my rubber bands right now, y'all. I'm so glad. I was like, oh, I got sick of them damn things. But I just so happened to see it, Spitting Fire read the paperwork. I can deal with the way that she reads it. And then brings her opinion about, okay, I don't believe that this is true. I don't believe that this happened or this happened. But for me to listen to somebody who's trying to tell you exactly what they know, right? From not, I don't believe that you were there to actually know all of this. So you have to be, in my opinion, you should be very cautious on how you try to desperately defend somebody. You have to be. You know, you fuck around. It's fucked up out here. It's like, stop with the bullshit. And he desperately tries to do that. He desperately tries to prove and keep himself in a position so that everybody can believe that he is the who, what, when, where, and why. That's his purpose. That's how he reads everything. He's in the mix of it. He can't take. He has to take himself up out of it. Nobody cares about him. Because I grew up down there, and because he was. Nobody cared. That's not the focal point that people should be zooming in on and being impressed about it. He ain't the one in jail. But people can't, they can't do that. They like who they like, and, that's fine, whatever. But, and both of them some straight damn goofies to me. She must have thought, she thought I'm finna just keep going back and forth and back and forth and back. Kaleidoscope. I ain't got time to go back and forth with you, girl. Not like that. No, I just don't have time, girl. My life is really, really busy, and especially to be playing already impressed and with the whole freaking hair weave and the glitter. I win the fall. I know when the fall. I can't compete with that. You won. I'm not an AI. Now if I decide to challenge and put myself up to AI and pop my boobs out and bust a rap and put on a blue wig to match your red one, then we got some competition going on. That is stupid. Stupid. You can have it. Win. Do AI. Do all the fake ass shit. I don't have time to go and be sitting and making anything of an AI to present to the people that I'm fabulous, that I'm the gorgeous one, and I'm the prettiest one, and I ain't got time. I ain't got time for that. I'm too authentic. I can't change my naturality to match your fake shit. I can't do that. And since the majority rules out here that they love the fake stuff, I gotta fold. There's no way that I can win. The majority is gonna rule. They are already impressed by that type of shit. They don't like authentic no more. So I know when to fold them down. It is what it is. But when you come back being natural, with your natural hair, your natural skin color, your natural teeth, then we can rumble. But God, that's like that's like me bringing a butter knife to a machete fight. That's what you're doing. That's how you want to get down. That's how you want to play. Most people would call it cheating, but I can't match that. I'm not changing me to compete against your AI wannabe. You see, that's who you want to be. That's impressible to you. You like looking at your videos, seeing you all allegedly want to be flawless to the people, because you want to hear those type of compliments of people who are being psyched out, complimenting you on some shit that's fake. What the fuck? I can't do it. I deal with real shit, real life stuff, real me. That's it. What do you want? A compliment on your banana color hair wig that you got over there on the video? Is that what you want? Because other than that little rap you did, people don't give a damn about that. No, and neither do you. You want to go ahead on and take your AI flawlessness to another level. I don't need that recognition. People can't handle the realness of a person anymore. That's just the time that we are in right now. We're living in that time. No, so you win, girl. Go ahead on. Do your thing. Bust your raps and shit. I'm not an artist. I don't rap. And I sure in the hell ain't finna put no long ass Halloween costume wig on to compete with you. I'm not. But I gotta get off of here because I gotta make a phone call. But I just wanted to ask you that question though, Scooby-Doo. This this evidence that these people like Booker chooses to put up with Damon Price and Lisa Van Allen, why did they not use that? That's all I'm asking. Why was that not used to help free R. Kelly? And what good is it with him having it and Kaleidoscope putting it out if the his attorneys didn't have it to free him? I just want to know. What good is it now? It's almost like you might as well put a torch to it and set it on fire. And then he shows the other picture with, what's her name, Rashonda Landfair, right? And notice how there's a man arm around her shoulder, right? But he won't show you that. Whoever that was, he cut that person off of it. Uh-huh. And then that's the type of shit that makes me a person that think like, okay, it's some BS in the game. If you're gonna show it all. Don't show what you want to prove as your perception only. Put the whole damn picture up there. Let's see what's going on in that whole freaking picture. Because you only gonna tell half of the story by what you're posting, which is half of a damn picture up there. He knows the girl exact age. He know everything. And I'm like, that's impossible. But you don't have one freaking story of being solidified in that girl's family history. Not with the dad, not with the mom, not whatever. All of the stuff that was stolen. Remember, they say all from his storage garage and people being in his home and they wasn't supposed to be there and things of like that. Where do you get all this stuff from? Where? That's crazy. Like, where did you get it from that the attorneys didn't have it? I'm just asking. Everything. You have everything. That's some suspicious ass activity going on. And I remember when, the girl said, he broke all up in his storage and before, it can be secured with Greenbird and all that stuff. And then you got, the Angelo and them all up in his house and Azrael passing out shit. You so good at putting shit up, you ain't even go over there and get R. Kelly watch back. If I'm not mistaken, allegedly Angela Clary might have did that show over there with Booker with the watch on. Who knows? I'm just saying. He ain't did none of that. He ain't did none of it. He must have heard about R. Kelly really indictment pretty late in the freaking game. Because the minute, or not only that, he had to hear about, since he say who he is, because they don't do an investigation on a Tuesday and then come on a Wednesday to indict you. It takes a minute. It takes a minute for them to build all of their freaking evidence that they have to take to a grand jury to to have an indictment prepared and a warrant to pick you up. So a lot of time then pass by, right? Let's just hypothetically say this, right? Now, somebody tell me, or did he ever even mention what day? Did the Bookham even know about the day of when they started the investigation? And if he happens to mention the day that he did, right, where was he securing his daddy's stuff? He told the people, I believe, at one point in time that, he was busy. I guess he was in school, busy, had to do some stuff, right? All of that type of stuff, right? So, but now that you learned about it, right? And he allegedly tries to hold a position as a security guard. Well, somebody explained to me why this security guard was so busy trying to be in pictures and following up around R. Kelly instead of standing his ass out there in front of Trump and making sure that Angelo and them didn't get the hell up in that damn apartment the way they did. Well, you did. Oh, my bad. Didn't have the money to make it over there. Nor a car. Oh, shit. So much for that suck-ass security guard job you had. That wasn't worth shit. Azrael Clary sat on that damn live talking about that freaking storage over there in them. What was the suburb, Scooby-Doo? I forgot. What was the suburb over by the mall outside of Oak Park over there. What was the suburb? Schaumburg, right? Was it Schaumburg? And then, well, were you there? Why you run your ass over there, standing in front of that damn garage, the storage garage door over there, so nobody could get in? You ain't secure shit, R. Kelly. That make no damn sense. But you want to be all up in that damn story. And it's okay. It's okay that he wants to, be for R. Kelly. I don't have a problem. I'm like, okay, go do your thing. But it's how he chooses to do so. And I believe, in my opinion, that the only reason why he chose and is going so freaking hard about it now is because of they executed his ass out of the group over there. That's just me, or there wasn't not enough money, or money wasn't paid coming from Angelo or the Shabazz team and shit like that. But that's my belief. That's just what I choose to believe. It is what it is. So do I believe that at first, yeah, that allegedly he might have been down there, like an Interscope, to try to scope out some things. And as Angelo said on that DJ Tyson live, that who y'all think it was? They had his ass down there doing a little bit of spying too. I don't know what to believe and don't care, but the shit funny. It is what it is. It is what it is. You got all these people, and that's the sad part about it, right? And then they'll ask you, well, R. Kelly didn't speak up for himself. Well, and then the answer came about that, his attorneys had, advised against that, for him to just kind of, sit there, and they got the case, right? But at the same time, they advised him to sit there and not defend himself as he should have. That's just my opinion. I don't care how much of a lack of reading that he had. You get up there and you do the best that you can. You get a chalkboard or a wet board or some type of board and show what the hell happened. Sometimes you got to defend yourself. But now that he didn't have that opportunity to do so, now you got all of his defendants out here with their whole damn propaganda on defending him. And I'm not talking about a lot of the people. I'm only talking about these two goddamn clowns. They got all the answers. But y'all have a good day. I got to go. Yeah, every day, all day. He don't want to talk about stuff and laugh about stuff like that. He was happy to hear about the situation that went on with Dennis Byron. Now, the math don't math. There's no way that you could be happy like two sissies with one Dino and the same thing happened to you. What you should be saying is, oh man, I feel you, shit happened. You kind of, talk about it a little bit and how you could fix it. But he thought it was like so amusing to do so. Like, well, he did say, well, man, that's what they did to me. That's what they did to me. I'm trying to tell you, can't nobody get you fucking evicted. No, not if you paying your shit. And if they did, then why did he make an argument to the property management or the courts? Why didn't he go and file improper eviction and sue them? Why did he do that? Because there's something, I'm pretty sure that there's something in there that they can't just evict you because somebody showed up on your freaking property for you. Why he sue them? He could have sued them, unlawfully evicted. Nah, he ain't want to go down that damn river right there. He ain't want to do that. He ain't want that counter fucking suit from them damn people. And they come out here and show where allegedly that he probably had to miss about 6 months of payments. He ain't want to go up that river. He ain't want to do that. Like, well, shit, I can't go after them. No. Then he got a whole damn friend over there. The AI queen wasn't nowhere around to even help out, and got nerves be talking about, that's my sis. How the fuck is your sis over there putting on red, blue, and orange goddamn wigs and watching your ass get evicted? You ain't my motherfucking sis. You better pull up and pull through. What the fuck? I wish my sister would. And I'm sitting over here with all my furniture out here on the freaking curb. I don't know where that video at, but he was sure standing out there with some shit and some tables and shit on the curb. The first person better be pulling up is my sis. Better get your ass over here, man. I ain't paid no rent. Pull up. Since them didn't come, they ain't come through like that. But they already knew, well, where you gonna go? Well, where you gonna go? I'm gonna go lay low with you over here. Oh, hell no. They know they weren't picking that problem up. They weren't picking that problem up. That problem was gonna be on them once you pick that problem up and put them inside of your vehicle. It is now your problem. People don't want that shit. Hell to the no. But all of those people sat and just watched through the lens. Oh man, that's messed up, boy. He got evicted again. You know what they did? You know what the cult team did? Sat out here and had a good old time blaming it on somebody. They ain't gonna help. They blamed it. That was her. And I tell you, she ain't shit. And she did it. And I did it. And ain't none of them pulled up. All they knew was how to do this. Yeah, shit. Y'all the reason. Y'all the reason. Fuck the reason. Get your ass here and pick me up. But they didn't do so. Listen, they didn't do so. I got to go. I just wanted to ask. I'm glad Scooby-Doo popped in because I really wanted to know the answer to that, and I still do. How is it that they have the evidence and they're posting it up about who is on this alleged sex tape, right? And then though, in Scooby-Doo, come back in the same sense, right, and make a whole nother argument about Michael Avenatti in the 4 tapes, right? Which argument are y'all going to make? Are you going to make the argument that that's not R. Kelly on the sex tape? And he said that was a double. That's what he said. That's a double. Yeah, okay. And that's Lisa Van Allen. But if you're going to argue that against Michael Avenatti's shenanigans with saying that there were 4 and everybody's saying that those tapes are edited, duplicate, old-fashioned, he made them up, don't exist and all that stuff, then why are we talking about who's on the first tape? Which story are we going to stick to? I think maybe you should stick to the Michael Avenatti shit saying that all those tapes are just no good. All those tapes do not exist. Talk about the Michael Avenatti whole bunch of bullcrap that he tried to pull with Kim Fox to have him indicted. You don't do that. No, we're gonna bring out the tape, which can clearly show you that what is it that the way that the prosecutors are continuing to try to prove to these, prove their case. What they was trying to prove was, okay, well, still, this is the type of activity. One, because R. Kelly did know, what's his name? Michael Brown. Who was that on the tape? And Lisa Van Allen. You still didn't break the connections between those people. You have to break the connections to it. So what are they saying? They said, see, we told y'all. Okay, well, there's the enterprise. I'm the king of the stuff. Whose house was that in? That was in alleged R. Kelly house with the cabin room, right? I think Kaleidoscope showed that multiple times. Multiple times. Well, whose house is it? So at this point, do you think that they really cared about the fact of that was somebody else on the smexing tape? No. Because they wanted to prove that he was holding an enterprise. That's what they wanted. That was their whole mission on one of those counts. The enterprise. He knew them, allegedly. He knew her, allegedly. That was his home, allegedly. How you gonna take those away? How you gonna dispel those, Booker? How you gonna dispel those? I'm just asking. Because your girl showed it. The girl showed it. And to say that though, Scooby-Doo, right? They had all these new tapes. Okay, well, where did it come from? Angelo, that goddamn storage out there, the one that Azrael and them went into, right? Or and what's his name? And Michael Avenatti, because Michael Avenatti was in Hoops, was in bed with them, right? But see, they took to me, they tried to take the story, like Bookham and a few others, and Don Russell, since the van had allegedly some, tapes and stuff up in there. So, of course, they want to, they applied him into the story, right? They'll say, well, that's kind of where this stuff kind of came from, too. You know? But at the end of the day, though, Scooby-Doo, and I, like I say, I don't like to talk fictional with a bunch of shit. None of that stuff should have been around, nowhere to be found. None of it. That's the whole thing. Now you have to look back. Well, if they took it out of the storage, they did it over here, then who owned the storage? That's just like saying that if you're coming with the feds or whatever, and you pop my trunk and I got 200 pounds of freaking weed in there, whose car is it? It's mine. It's gonna fall on me, regardless. So it's just this is just crazy, and that does tell me that throughout R. Kelly trial, right, that there was some things that the attorneys just could not fight. They get to see some of this stuff that they are or they were accusing him of. Where does the argument, I believe, should lie? And that is the amount of time. I think that that's a sufficient enough argument for R. Kelly. That has to be the focal argument point right there. The amount of time. Because it is hard to say, well, okay, he didn't do none of this stuff, like Bookham would say. But there is some things that he don't know about, I don't know about, you don't know about, hardly any of us don't know about, that can also, say, well, okay, R. Kelly, you might do a little bit of this stuff, but the amount of years, no. Oh, she was, yeah, she was. She was. But I used to hear on the street though with that though, Scooby-Doo, that she would have probably, if R. Kelly would have not made a choice to have multiple girlfriends, which he was entitled to do. It is not illegal to have multiple girlfriends as long as they are of age, right? But if he had not had multiple ones, the story that, I heard is that she would have stayed, and she was a good pick for him. That's kind of what I hear. I don't know, and I don't care. I get it. A man that likes to have multiple girlfriends, go do your thing. Just don't do it illegal. Do your thing. If the girl's all down for it and with it, whatever the goddamn case is, it's gonna be what it is, pretty much. At some point, the man gonna get tired any damn way. You know what? The only man that don't get tired is them Amish men. Amish men have about 20, 30 freaking wives and girlfriends. They don't get tired. But our culture, when it comes to black men trying to have 5 or 6, 7, oh, y'all get tired as hell. Y'all get so goddamn tired, the headache's gonna come, you can't keep up, you miss calling names, and all bunch of shit. Then you be like, oh, fuck, I'm done with this shit, I'm over with it. Yeah, that's what our culture do. Y'all can't hang like that. Amish, shit. Amish fuck around, have about 50 wives up in there, don't give a fuck. I'm just saying, but that's what I think all of the behoofing and crap of all this collages and trying to pin a tail on the donkey crap stuff going on. No. I think the arguments, if you want to keep making a freaking argument and stuff, because all that other stuff y'all point out is over the rainbow now. Gone. And then if you're not out here in a position loaded with a buku of money and prepared to hire an attorney that you know is suitable enough to fight this type of charges for R. Kelly, then you need to go sit your ass down. I sure can't. I can't afford it. I cannot afford it. Now, hypothetically, if I'd have hit the freaking Powerball or something like that, hey, here, I'd have put together, here's a team. Go in there and go see what you can do to save this man, because he's doing too much time. Focus on the time that they've given him. Argue that. It's too much time for the charges of what they did. What did she get? 7? Jennifer Bunjean actually said it, that R. Kelly was happy with the 7 charges. I was like, oh, okay. Then why are we still arguing? The attorney has spoken. The ones that she got, that they tossed out, he was satisfied with that, but she said she was he seemed very pleased. I think that's her exact words. He seems very pleased. Well, that's it. All over. Go sit down. That's what I did. Well, okay, go sit down. The attorney has spoken. He's pleased with that. He's going to serve his time on out, or wait to see if an attorney will actually file a acceptable motion for a judge to grant him a new trial. Just gonna wait on that. But they just can't read the damn paperwork. Got to do their ads and then subtracting, and this is what I feel. It ain't about what you feel. You can express your opinion, but you get all deep into your feelings on this stuff, man. I feel like you get lost with the same thing up here. I can't put my feelings in this stuff. Had I felt the way that about what happened yesterday, it's almost a great chance that they'd put this girl up out this building. And I wasn't going to let that happen. No, leave her alone. You won't trigger her. But what does the report say? I'm reading the reports. You could tell he kind of lying in his report. His time was all off, everything, because he's trying to make up something in his head, but, it kind of sucks, but, she's going through it up in here. She gets picked on, a whole bunch of stuff, and it's like, wait, hold on. So, if it takes me to where I have to put myself in the fire and take a risk on the person who is poking the bear ain't gonna never speak to me no more, then I have to be fine with that. Then don't speak to me no more, because you're wrong right now. You're wrong. The girl ain't poking at you. You're poking at her. Now you mad because she done found all MF type of names to call you. Now you want to go report it. No, you are wrong. You sent her there. Y'all have a good day. I got to go in here. I'm tired today though, y'all. I'm a little tired today, but nothing beats a failure but to try. So I'm going to go ahead on and step it off up in here and make it do what it do. Another day, another dollar. Bye, y'all. Thank you, Lady T-Bug. Thank you, honey.